Yo, what is going on YouTube? Hey, so it has been a long time since I made a video, and honestly, this YouTube channel is something that has always just been like this random side part of me where I make videos and I post and I hardly ever check in on it. And there are 11,000 subscribers on this channel. 11,000 people have subscribed to listen to my poetry, and really the origin of this channel happened whenever I had just graduated college and I started working at a youth ministry in Dallas. And my boss at that time was like, Michael, you're pretty good at doing poetry. You should make a YouTube channel. And I was like, that's kind of random, bro. I stutter. So writing poetry, I love performing poetry is tough. And he just kind of pushed me to do it, and I made it. And me and the video guy at that church just over the years have made videos, and as life changed, I've made less and less videos as time has gone on. Now, fast forward, this channel has existed for 8 years, which is crazy. I have 2 small kids right now. Most of y'all probably don't even know that I am a dad. I was I worked in the youth ministry at that church for the last 9 years, and recently I switched to be a youth pastor at another church in Dallas, and God has moved in crazy ways. I have spoken at and done poetry at churches all over the country because of this YouTube channel. I have this fear video that has 600,000 plus views. It doesn't even make sense. God has done some crazy things. And another crazy thing that God has been doing in my life is a door opened up for me to write my first ever poetry book. And at first I said no, or at first I was hesitant about it, just because speaking poetry is one thing. Writing poetry, I am no Langston Hughes. I am not I wouldn't call myself a poet, but as I kind of pushed myself in this process, it was pretty awesome. And so really I have officially written a book. It is called Through the Storm. This is my first ever poetry book ever to write. And on November 1st, it is dropping. You can pre-order it now, which I encourage you to do, because on November 1st, Amazon, all of the sales go to Amazon, and they don't get the little guys don't get as much money. But November 1st, this is happening. This book has 60 poems that I have written. Some you have heard on this YouTube channel. Some you have never heard. Some have been in a journal that no one has ever seen until I sent them to my editor for the final manuscript. It's cool because there are also pictures all over this. So illustrations that kind of tie into the poems. And so it is more of a piece of art. It stands on its own more than just random words on a paper. So if you have in all way been impacted by this YouTube channel, again, poetry is something that has always just kind of been this random silly thing, this extra piece of my life. And if I'm being honest, I don't a lot of times, I'm gonna get all worked up, bro, feel worthy of being an artist. And obviously my stutter is a big part of my story, and there's just something about performing poetry, never knowing how my brain is gonna work in that day. I could do a poem I've done 500 times and the words won't come out, and it'll just get in my head that way. But the testimony of, hey, God has given me a stuttering dude whose brain and whose tongue cannot get on the same page, who stutters a lot more than I wish I did, but still allow my words to impact people, maybe to impact you watching this video, is super cool. So I will post a link to this video. It would mean the world if you bought this book, shared this book, bought it for a friend. I hope that this isn't a book that you'll read and my hope is that, that this is a book that you can go back to. It is a book about my highs and my lows. It is embarrassing stories. It is victories. It is declaring how great God is. It is questioning where God is in the midst of pain. It is honestly the human experience. Poetry is a special thing because it really is. It's more than a written essay. It is the emotion of the author, and each one of us. Ephesians 2:10 says that we are a masterpiece made in, we are God's masterpiece. And that word masterpiece, the Greek for that actually is poema, which is where we get our English word for poetry. And so on some level, God made us all unique as poetry, and he wants us to share our stories, the highs and the lows. And I hope that this book speaks to you, maybe inspires you to write your own poetry, to share your stories, and to see yourself as someone who is made in God's image, who God loves unconditionally. All right, peace.